a shark has to keep swimming or else it dies. When a shark is swimming, it has to keep doing it because how they breathe is through their gills, and the gills don't work unless they keep moving forward. Like they can't just stop and relax and lay around and lay in comfort. They literally have to physically keep moving or else they will like suffocate is like the official like way that they die. It's like suffocation. So I think what we can learn here is like when things aren't going your way, you just have to keep like going forward and you have to keep persevering and you have to stay disciplined and you have to still do what you need to do or else like you're gonna suffocate in comfort basically. If you don't keep, pushing forward on what you need to do in your life, if you just decide to stay depressed and stay in comfort or whatever it is, if you stop improving, your body is literally like it's suffocating. You're alive, but you're not really living. You're suffocating yourself because you need to keep moving and you need to keep pushing forward because you're capable of like this very amazing thing that you could do. But if you stay here and you stay depressed and you stay sad and you stay in a state of comfort and you're not really pushing, you're not really living, and you're not going to achieve, up here, you're not going to be able to upward spiral and get to where you need to be. So sharks, they just keep going, no matter what happens, they have to keep going or else they die. And I think that, humans are the same in that if we don't keep pushing towards something, I think that we become self-destructive. I think that we have to keep pushing for something. We have to keep moving forward. We can't just sit in comfort all day, and we can't, just let bad things that happen to us. It's okay to be sad for a short period of time, but at some point, you have to continue living your life. You can't just stay in this negative state forever and ever and ever and just literally suffocate in your own wallow. You have to continue to push forward and continue to move forward at something, no matter what bad things happen to you that are in or out of your control. You have to keep pushing forward and you have to keep staying in your daily disciplines, and you have to do what you need to do regardless of how you feel. It doesn't matter if you're very, very depressed about something that happened to you. We all have the same 24 hours, regardless of the circumstances that you have. Your competition, regardless of how they feel, if they're still going to work and still push to what they're working towards, they're going to be able to defeat you in the long run. They're going to like wipe you out of the competition. Your competition is going to destroy you. So, the sun don't stop for nobody, man. The sun can rise in the morning and then the moon is going to come and it's going to keep happening and keep happening. So if you just decide to, spend a year not really pushing towards anything, if you're not actively getting better, you're actively getting worse. Because if you're not improving, you're decaying. Let me say that again. If you're not improving, you're actually decaying. And there's a lot of factors that go into that. Your competition is actively improving, so now you're below what the status point that you should have been at. You're below that point. If you're not getting better, you're not taking care of yourself. You're actually not staying the same. You're actually getting worse, because maintenance requires a lot of work, and you're not getting better. Nothing is really you're not really pushing yourself forward in life. So you're decaying and you're not getting better. And if you spend a year doing that, not getting any better, you just wasted a year. I mean, just yesterday, it feels like you can remember when you were a little kid and playing around and stuff. It feels like just yesterday, a lot of these experiences that we had so many years ago, it feels like we woke up this morning and yesterday we were how we felt so many years ago, because time goes by very quick, so you can't waste it. Time is very precious. Time is the most valuable resource that we ever have. Right now is the present, and a synonym for present is a gift. So I think God is funny, because the gift that we have right now is the present. The past is the past. The past has already happened. We can't control what has already happened, and the future is unknown. The future is unknown. So if we live in the future, we're living and worrying on what we don't know is going to happen, and the future is going to take care of itself. And if we spend time in the past or the future, whether it's good or bad, but in the past, if we stay there, it's already happened and we can't control what's already happened. It's already happened. You got to move on. So that's why the moment that we live in is really a gift. It's the present. It's a present that we have, living right now in this moment, from moment to moment. Because 10 seconds ago was a moment, and that moment's gone. So the youngest you're going to be right now is the moment that we are living and breathing in right now, is the youngest that we're going to ever be. And then again, a moment ago, that moment is gone, and now I'm living in this moment. Maybe I stuttered, or I said too many or I did not do the video as best as I could have, but I'm in the present right now, and I'm teaching you this thing, and I can't stay on the past, and I can't stay on my past achievements. I used to play soccer in America, and the highest level is like MLS Next, which is, obviously there's the league in U.S. soccer, which is like MLS. Then there's the development league into the MLS, which is MLS Next, and I used to play in that league. And I realized that I was spending a lot of time, like, just thinking about, like, my achievements in the past, like, the things that I've done. So instead of, staying in the past and my achievements, I decided to take control of my moments now, and I'm focused in the present, focused on what I can control now, not focused on the future of what league I'm going to be in, but, focused on what I've done right now. What can I do right now, not focused on the past or the future. I just got to keep moving, and I got to keep persevering, and I have to keep moving forward, and I can't stop. Right now I'm playing in a semi-pro team. I just won a big youth tournament in my state. I'm doing these things, but if I would have stayed in the past, I wouldn't have won anything, and I wouldn't have accomplished anything, and I wouldn't still, be working towards what I'm working towards. We got seasons up ahead, but I'm not focused on that. I'm just focused on what I can control right now for where I want to be in the future. So, you can't, if you stay back and you sit and relax and you just stay and you're not really improving and you're not doing anything, it's honestly like you're dying. You're honestly killing yourself. You're suffocating. So you can't do that. You just gotta, the good, the bad, you gotta take it all, take everything, with a grain of salt, and you just gotta keep moving forward. You can't let bad things that happen to you, you can't be stuck in that moment of sadness and depression. You can't stay there. You got to keep moving forward. I believe in you. You have people who believe in you, and if not, I believe in you. So you just got to keep pushing. You got to keep persevering, and you ain't got a lot of people that want to see you win, but I want to see you win, and I want to see you do better, because if I helped you do better, that means that I've done my job better, and it helps me do better. It helps me make more money when I help people improve their lives. So what I'm saying is, just got to keep pushing, keep going forward, and you can't stop. Because if you stop, you're going to suffocate, and time goes by like that, and you done spent a year doing what? You know what I mean? You spent a whole year in a moment of sadness. So you can't be doing that, or, in a moment of, just living in complacency and not really doing anything. So you can't do that. You just got to keep pushing. You got to keep swimming. You got to keep, and, there's going to be more obstacles, but you got to keep, pushing through, breaking boundaries, doing what you got to do, because if you stay here, we could stay here, or we could go up, right? We could stay as number 6, or we could go to the number 7, right? So that's what you got to do. You just got to keep pushing, keep moving forward, and don't let those last 2 corny things that I've said let you negate the rest of the things that I've said in this video. So you got to keep pushing. You got to keep moving forward. You got to keep learning. Got to keep training your body, keep getting bigger, keep getting faster, keep getting stronger, and that's what you got to do. The chart, because if you stop, you're going to suffocate and you're going to die. So listen to what I've said here.